Hello and welcome to this week's News, Views and Clues with Anton Guinea from the Guinea Group. Big news, Forbes.com. Go Forbes. Come out this week, I think it was, with a great article and link below, of course, link to the article below. Here's the title of it, How Leadership Can Address the Great Resignation. How Leadership Can Address the Great Resignation. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. We saw this great resignation coming on. Not a day would go by in my work life for probably the last 2 to 3 months where someone wouldn't have talked about. And so we don't have enough resources. It's happened today. I actually did a media interview on it this morning to 94.7 in Geelong. Thanks, Robert Cameron. Great chatting to you. And then at a networking lunch today, same thing. We've got no resources. Resources are an issue. Absolutely, resources are. People are leaving. Mind you, a lot of people are still staying as well. So there's this little bit of loyalty still going on if leadership's strong in a business. Because remember, people don't leave businesses. They leave leaders. Now, that might be too general, though I think it's a good rule of thumb. And I love this article. So the news is leadership can help retain people in a business. Like, I know. That's not big news, right? We've known about that for a while. Here's the 4 things, and we might have to make it 5 because the brain works in odd numbers, so Forbes will give us 4. First one, here's number 1 from Forbes. All team members should have a designated time to check in with their supervisor. One-on-one meetings. I've just written some content for a LinkedIn newsletter on Friday of this week that's all about one-on-one meetings and how important they are. Here's another example. Read that blog post or that LinkedIn newsletter for that information. Next one, do not avoid discussing mental health status and needs at work. Like, it's okay. Mental health is not a taboo topic. It's okay. And I wouldn't even ask people how they are. I'd be more direct. You know, are you feeling supported? Are you feeling mentally comfortable? Are you feeling emotionally fit? There's a couple of words for you. How's your emotional fitness at the moment? That's a bit a funkier way to say it. Don't beat around the bush because people value, if you value their mental health as a leader. Number 3. Oh, here's an interesting one. I love this. I know people who will ring their leader and say, I'm having a mental health day. Forbes.com. And I'm just looking at my computer screen here. Normalise taking mental health days when needed. Imagine that. Imagine if someone, and I think I've done this on a video or 2 in recent times. Imagine ringing your leader and saying, hey, I'm just having a mental health day today. How would they respond? How would they react? Hopefully good. Number 4, encourage emotionally intelligent practices amongst leaders. Go back to my last week's content. I just did a meeting today. Mars, great to chat. Just around what emotional intelligence means, and particularly the Daniel Goleman model of self-awareness management, social awareness management. Team, well, that's 4. The last one is to actually be radically candid in your conversations. Google the Kim Scott model of psychological safety, where she talks about having conversations with your team members that are full of radical candor. Radical candor. That means high in care factor and still challenging directly. High in care factor, still challenging. So challenging without hurting. There you go, there's a thought. Now, so that's the 5 things, and I won't go through them again. Actually, yes, I will, because most people would love a summary. Designated time to check in with your leader. Don't avoid discussing mental health. Normalise taking mental health days as required. Encourage emotional intelligence amongst leaders. I've been saying it. Anyone in my space has been saying that for decades. And then number 5 is be radically candid in your conversations, or have radical candor. So now my news, that's the news. My views on that are nailed it. Don't think there's too much more to say on that. From a clues perspective, I think those 5 things are the clues. The news is Forbes.com. Leadership can impact the Great Resignation. Yeah, duh. I think we're, that's experts in the bleedingly obvious, right? We sort of know that. And thanks for Forbes. I love the work Forbes do, so I don't want to undervalue that. And I love when people like Forbes or businesses like Forbes can put it so succinctly. My views on it are 100% right, and the clues are in those 5 tips. And the other clue is please remain in conscious control. And if you're under pressure, reach out, because we're here to serve. We work with leaders who are under pressure to help them create conscious control and to create high-performing teams that are psychologically safe. See you next week for Leadership Live.